Listen up here. The restaurant industry is grueling and unpredictable, just like this show, from the front of the house to the back of the house and all in between. We will turn up the heat, you turn up the volume. I'm Chef Antonio Caruana. Welcome to the Tell All Podcast, The Burnt Hands Perspective.
This podcast contains explicit and potentially offensive material. You've been warned. Now buckle up, bitches. Let's go.
There we go. Salami. Huh?
Meat,
Salami
cheese,
time. Meat,
wine.
cheese, wine, and fucking pappy.
Yep, we're good.
What is better than
This is a good day.
For all you those who don't know, when we're talking in this show a lot, we talk about the restaurant industry. I got a mouthful
You
of food.
really eat with your mouth full?
Yeah, why not? Let's
Okay.
lead that way.
Sorry, Mark.
Got some beautiful salami here in my head right now. Going for it.
It's
With salami,
faithful.
always comes wine. Italian heritage, Italian lifeline, Italian blood. Not only, though, that goes throughout the history. Kristen, why don't you say a few words so I can
So you
swallow
can
this?
chew?
I prematurely did
All
this
right.
whole situation.
So we're going to take a moment and let our guest introduce himself as he's just smacking away on some store-bought meat and cheese. But yeah, Mark, thank you for being on with us today. Obviously, a legend, a staple in the culinary community here in Hampton Roads, too. But you are going to kind of take us on. We're going to go through some journeys as we talk about wine certifications, and all the fun things. So you introduce yourself. Tell everybody your lovely, well, it's a long resume, so I can't even get through it.
It's extreme.
Well, thank you guys. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I love listening to your show, and it's instrumental, and it's one of the greatest things in Hampton Roads going on right now for the restaurant
Thank
industry.
you. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Coming from a guy like you, for sure.
Thanks. Yeah, so I'm a sommelier, Zoe's Steak and Seafood Restaurant in Virginia Beach. Been in the area for a long time, but I hate to say how many years, been like 37 years
Wow.
in the industry, and been a sommelier since I was 22 years old. So
That's crazy because no one at 22 years old is worried about salmon typically.
Not
Not a lot of
typically.
them, especially back then.
yeah, well, it's kind of crazy. So I was at La Galleria restaurant, if anyone remembers the restaurant in downtown
Sure.
Norfolk.
Yep.
And I remember getting my business cards, and I had to pull out a dictionary and pull out how to spell sommelier. And it was before I joined the Court of Master Sommeliers, so it was like in the very, very beginning. But I took over the wine program when I was 22 years old. And
So at this point in time, you're a sommelier by word and definition, not so much by certification.
yeah, absolutely. And to be a sommelier is like chefs. I mean, people throw it around easy, and sometimes it's very, very serious. And so we it's frustrating to hear people say, "Oh yeah, I'm a chef. I got a hot dog stand on the corner," or "I'm a sommelier, and I have 2 bottles of wine on my wine list." But in the Court of Master Sommeliers, they say, if you can't walk the walk, talk the talk, don't call yourself that. You're not a certified sommelier until you pass the second level. So it's a journey and a path, and you should be able to be respectful to that. And sometimes that respect gets lost. And we're trying to get too caught up in that, but it is a serious thing. I know in the world of chefs as well, it's almost the same balance there between.
Sure.
And it's frustrating.
Sure. So when you compare the two, I went and I got my level 1, right? I didn't realize how severe it was to call yourself level 2 until you go to the level 1 course. You got to do the studying, then you got to go there for 2 days. You got to go through the courses, then you got to take your test, and hopefully you pass this test. And you can study for it all you want to, but when you're there taking it, you realize how much stuff you didn't study. That you didn't realize the spirits, the drinks, the bourbons, all the ports, the Madeiras, things like that.
Big world.
There's a big world, and it's just at the very beginning. So I can only imagine as we go. And the reason I went and got it is because A, I love wine. I've been dealing with wine all my life, and I absolutely love it. B, I have over almost $500,000 invested in my wine program, and I think I should be at some level of certification or even recognition when you're going to purvey that type of wine on other people. People have to trust you and know what you're doing. So my next goal, my next stop would be level 2, but we'll talk about that in a few minutes. So you got Zoe's. If people aren't watching this, aren't all from here. So Zoe's Steakhouse in Virginia Beach is one of the premier steakhouses and one of the premier restaurants in Virginia Beach. It's been there for a long time. It's a staple of higher end fine dining. And the wine program there, as we all know, is winning the awards. And not only does it win the awards, it stands true to it. And if you're going to go somewhere to enjoy real steak, real food, real experience with education, we all know that you go to Zoe's. And that's where you bring it.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And you have ownership in Zoe's?
I do, yes.
Yeah, so you are a owner,
Sir?
sommelier, and you're there all the time. And in fact, your daughter runs the bar there.
Yeah, she's on board, yes.
She's on board, right? So whether she runs or not, excuse me if I'm miswording, but I know she's there. What are we drinking here, my man? What do we got?
We're doing a little Cabernet Sauvignon from Napa Valley. This is called Memento Mori. It's a new project.
Memento Mori.
Which it's Latin for remember mortality. Remember you're going to die. The owner.
So basically, smell the roses while you're drinking this.
Enjoy, absolutely. Take every day. Don't take every day for granted, but enjoy every day. The owner, good friend of mine, Hayes Drumright, got cancer at 21 years old. He's in college, was a swimmer, and thought he was going to die. So he said it was the worst and best thing that ever happened to him. He lived, and he's just thinks every day you got to enjoy every day. Don't let it go past.
And how old is he now? Did he make it?
He's like 53.
So from 20, whatever he was when he came down with the cancer, thinking he was going to die, that's not a lot of time to turn your life around and produce a 100-point wine. Because that's what this is, correct?
Perfect scoring wine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Perfect scoring wine right here. Luce Secundo, not the first time, won't be the last, but I'm glad to be sharing it with you.
100. 100. 100.
100,
We'll go for it. All right, so we get to sip and then chat.
On a 100-point show.
Wow.
I think our assistant Nikki needs to grab a glass and get a little taste of this. She would highly enjoy this.
Please, guys, wines for sharing.
Come on, grab a glass. Yeah, you need to taste this. This is absolutely amazing.
Beautiful.
So, Napa Valley, big, strong, different regions in Napa. A lot of people recognize Napa for what it is. I used to be a non-fan of Napa because I grew up with old-style wines, old world wines. My problem with Napa in the late 90s, early 2000s into the mid-2000s was the winemaker style and winemaker influence at the time was that heavy American oak, and I just couldn't get past it. No matter how good the juice was, the grape was, the press, the maceration, any step of the way, I had a hard time getting through it because I just could not get right with that American oak. And it seems it's pulling back off. They're moving to French or Old American or something. Am I wrong in that, Mark?
No, I think you're dead on. So, I mean, we started learning about wine, and the Europeans would use oak, but they use neutral oak, so it's a balance. It's like a chef creating a dish. You have to have a balance in it. All the flavors have to intertwine and work together, and that's that perfect harmony or balance which you're trying to achieve. That's what 100-point wine is. So it's not too oaky. It's not too less of oak. And so, we in the late 90s, early 2000s, we were over-oaking a lot of the wines, and that's a true statement. And they weren't in balance. They were just they were rough, and now we've really learned how to kind of tailor that in, draw that back, and work with the harmony and the balance. And
it was that over-oaking that you're talking about is true. But for those who don't know what exactly the flavor profile I'm going for is that a little bit of a spiced vanilla at the end of it that always brought out that sweet vanilla end finish to everything that I just couldn't get through. So I don't know if it was the oak or the American oak that was getting me, because if you get that out of a French oak in a Cab Franc or something like that, it's good, right?
Yeah. Well, the American oak gives you flavors of dill, coconut, and vanilla. French oak is going to be cinnamon, vanilla, and black pepper. And so when they over oak it, you get that balance. You don't want a glass full of vanilla. You don't want a glass full of black pepper.
Correct.
You want to be able to, the Cabernet Sauvignon is blackberry, black cherry, black cassis, and cedar malt. So you want those flavors wrapped around. So the oak should be intertwined and a balance that really, we almost can't detect the oak. So it's all in there together.
Right.
You can taste the oak.
Correct.
It's too much.
The oak can almost, if it's done properly like this, obviously it's a 100-point wine, and we're not the first ones to admit it. I mean, someone with much more knowledge and skill than I gave it that rating. I'm just drinking it and agreeing with them. But when I sip it, deductively, it all comes down to a Napa Cab without question.
Yeah.
But I'm not getting I'm getting more of a, if I were to have to say something, I'm getting a very, very light smoke more so than I am a straightforward oak.
Yeah.
You know,
the oak is there, but it's almost undetectable.
It's right.
You get the berries and the fruit. They play they're winning the race.
In this case, the oak did its job.
Yeah, exactly.
The oak did its job and emphasized everything else in the.
It supported.
Great.
It didn't lead.
Yeah, great, exactly, perfect. So, you have knowledge, and anyone watching who likes wine or drinks wine or has any focus on wine, this man here has nonstop knowledge, not only about the wine, but it's amazing to me how you can sit there and talk about you know a lot of producers, you know a lot of vintages, you know a lot about what's going on in the wine world, more so than what your qualifications even would say on paper, right? I think that what you have going on and what you bring to this area is extreme, man. You being in this area for us, almost like you said, our show was doing something for this area. I think your level of wine knowledge and wine expectation in this area is crucial for us. It keeps me as a guy going, looking up and doing it. So glad to have you talking about it. So
Appreciate that.
If you were to go, I went in, got my level 1, okay, went to the Court of Masters, and like I've already explained why. So when I was doing it, I was going online. I'm looking for anything I could to get me enhanced better, to learn more, to get a little bit more knowledge. any hint I can get, as everybody does, we all do it, right? You want to have the most info you can going into a subject, right? Someone who's going through the stages, right? If you're going through the levels, give us a little insight of what people can expect going into level 1, and then let's go into level 2 with the blind tastings. What do you recommend there? And then if you're going into level 3, where now we're getting up hard, and then you're going up from there, which is that's a whole nother conversation. So why the fuck is it so hard?
Well, to be a master sommelier, there's in the last 58 years or so, there's been just barely over 300 people in the world who have passed all 4 levels. So it's considered to be the hardest test in the world to pass.
So 58 years?
58 years, yeah.
And
50 years, that's the court has been around. Is that what you're saying? So the Court of Masters has been around for 58 years, and only in 58 years, only 300 people have been.
Yeah, it's like 311, I think, right now.
Wow.
And that's crazy.
Yeah. So the test is level 3 and level 4. The test is offered once a year. You have to apply for the test, and when you accept to take the test was just administered in Portland, Oregon, and one of my students just took his test. Simon, going to give him a shout out, and it's his 4th time taking the test. The record is 16 times taking it before passing, so it's the last level. And
The record meaning that was the fastest one?
no, that was
Meaning that was how long it took the most.
He took 16 years, 16 tries on the last level before he didn't give up and finally passed.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, Simon, a good buddy and friend of mine, he's been a student of mine for over 10 years, and I helped him pass level 2, level 3, and he surpassed me already, but he's hardworking, a lot of time to study, and he passed his first section of the Master Sommelier Master Diploma just last month, and there was 82 people who took the test. 10 people passed that section, so the other 72 hope they scored high enough to get an invitation for next year. And of those 10, Simon's one of those 10, they've got 2 more sections he has to complete this year. And if he does, he will be Master Sommelier 312, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's insane.
That's crazy. And if he
That is
doesn't,
amazing.
does he have to start all over again, or does that first section always hold?
No, so it's a great question. It's a very interesting and cool question. So there's 3 sections to take. There's a surface exam, written oral exam, and then blind tasting. If you pass the first one, the written and oral exam, which Simon passed, you don't have to take that test for 2 more years. If you pass the other 2 sections within 3 years, you become a master. If you don't pass it within 3 years, you reset. You start over again.
Again.
So if you took it 9 times, you would have reset twice.
Right. Wow. So that's the master. The odds of the normal average wine enthusiast going for their master is, I'm not going to lie to you, so let's stop sugarcoating shit. You probably ain't got a better chance of getting struck by lightning.
You have a better chance winning the lottery.
Yeah. So if you think you're just going to go be a master som, you better start studying now. And don't even worry about that until you get through the other 3 levels first, because it's almost like a video game. Before you get to the master boss, man, you better learn how to play right, because you're going to be in front of
Level
that
1.
controller for a long time. You know. So level 1, what's your recommendation? Level 1, it is what it is. You got to start somewhere, right? That's what I did. That's where I'm at. What do you think? What do you recommend for level?
So level 1 is called introduction. So you're dipping your foot in the water, and I love introduction. I love that section. It is so much information. You go there for a 2-day lecture and exam, and it's mind-blowing what you go over. It just, people walk out of there, their heads almost want to explode, because they've been studying wine for a long time, and like, I didn't
For
know
me,
that.
it's very
So,
true.
yeah.
I thought I knew what I knew, and I knew a lot.
No, I'm
like, holy
so
shit.
stoked that you've done level 1, because I think chefs should do level 1s. I think waiters, bartenders, managers in the restaurant, we should learn as much about food as possible, and that balance. I mean, you don't go to a restaurant just to eat. You don't go to a restaurant just to drink. It's a combination, the marriage of both. That's what makes a beautiful experience, the food and the wine together. So I applaud all chefs who go and do level 1, level 2, and keep on going level 3 if they can. I think it's very important. So I brought the Court of Master Sommelier to Virginia Beach 7 times in the last 14 years. And at one point in time, I had 2 of my chefs, all my bartenders, all my servers, and I even had a server assistant, a busser, pass level 1. But we,
Yeah.
it was intense.
And what
That's
you mean by
amazing.
bringing it to Virginia Beach, meaning you brought the opportunity for it to be tested here in our area.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Right.
So I requested to have them come to Virginia Beach. They politely asked for a $50,000 guarantee that we bring enough students, because they want to send their masters, set the test up, come down here, and then have no one take the test. That would waste their time.
Sure.
So we had a guarantee that we'd have $50,000 worth of people to take the test.
And that's a lot of people.
Yeah,
$50,000 at about $700 a clip, right?
yeah.
Is that
So
what?
that's a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it was great. Then the second year, they actually called me back and said, "Hey, can we come back?" Because we had a great turnout. We maxed out the turnout, and it was great. So a lot of people locally, selfishly, a lot of people on my staff. But we had a guy flying from Alaska. We had probably people flying from North Dakota, from Maine. You know, from all over. I mean, you got to figure if you're going to go someplace, take your test. Las Vegas and fills out the fastest. Napa fills out the fastest. But they put the exam schedule out. Virginia Beach is not bad either. You know.
What are you
the
feeling
ocean.
about bringing it back again for another time?
Yeah.
I'm level one.
I'm definitely gonna do it. I'm hoping that 2026 spring,
Okay.
April, May, we'll do level one and level two back to back.
Cool.
So
So you're saying I got a chance?
you definitely have a chance.
Level 2, yeah, I know.
level 2.
For level 1, I mean, what type of prep goes into that if you're going to come to that?
It's so level one. There's no blind tasting involved. It's just a matter of learning all about wines and spirits from around the entire world. And so they, when you sign up, they give you a prep book, and I would highly advise read that book front to back 3 times. A lot of information there, and almost all the information is on the test. But it is to be well-rounded completely. So that's very, very important to be able to just not understand Napa, not just understand Italy, not just understand France, the whole world of wine. So there's a lot out there.
The good part about the level one, Kristen, is that you learn a lot about the technical things that you wouldn't really notice, like wind flow over mountains, how it affects flatlands versus slopes, why, who, what, why, and where is level one. It's kind of like the introduction to all things grape wine and stuff like that. Whereas as you go up, you're getting more into the what's in the glass now. You know what I mean, and understanding it and picking it apart. But level one, you're doing a lot of research on the development of the grape, where they come from, the history of it, realizing that Romans put fucking grapes all over the world. There's a lot of information that, you know what I mean, that you get that you really wouldn't pay attention to because you're so stuck in the bottle. Oh, this is great.
This is
you
just
drink
a good
the juice, right? You're not really focusing on what the vineyards are going through or things like that. You know,
I love
what a
that. I
river
wish,
does.
I mean, I think that and hopefully most of the restaurants in this area, because again, when I was in the restaurants, I was at restaurants who had amazing wine lists. I worked with great sommeliers. I wish they would have said to us, like, as the bartenders, as you're like, I want you to go and do this. Because I think that, again, you're right. Any knowledge that adds to the overall experience is beneficial to the restaurant.
Yeah, it's always, I pay for all my employees to take the test. We say, we pay for it if you pass. You know, like I don't want them to go there and go up to New York or go someplace to take their test and not really care about it. But they're going to pass. I'm going to pay for their exam.
Sure.
And it only helps out the restaurant. And when I brought the court to
when you do that, Mark, do you have because I consider that too. I just need someone to pass. But if you have, they pass. Do you have a contract that they need to at least be with you for a year after or something to make sense of it? Because if you pay for it, they pass, and then they go work for your competitor. You also just amplified that whole problem.
Yeah. So my business partner, Bill and Joni, they were saying, why do you help out the people in the area? And I train people, and I don't charge them any money to help mentor them to do level 1, level 2. And they're like, why would you do that for competitive restaurants? Like, well, it kind of raises the bar for the whole area.
Well, you're right. Perfect. Yes.
So I think
if you're confident, what you're saying right now is exudes confidence. Because if you're confident like I am, I don't give a fuck what's going on outside. The more of us that are out there, the better our area is going to be.
Absolutely.
People always say, why isn't James Beard here? Why isn't fucking Michelin here? All that stuff. It's because you have to have a community around you. You have to have a community.
You've got to build it.
You have to build it.
They'll come.
And a lot of people around here, their ego is too big to let it go to other people. And that sucks. But anyway, let's keep going.
No, you have to. For me, I have to be humble, and I have to be just down to earth. I'm willing to share my knowledge. And the original sommeliers, 30, 40 years ago, they were very guarded with information. They wouldn't share their information, and they look down on people, and that's BS. It's total BS, in my opinion. So I share all my information. I help train people. I don't charge anything. If they're serious, they want to learn. So the more we get certified sommeliers in this area, the better this area is going to be. So when I started off, like 16 years ago, bringing the court here, I think it was 4 or 5 certified sommeliers, level 2s. And now we're looking around 40, 45 in the area, and that helps the area out. And so, yes, it does. If you train someone, they leave, they become your competitor. But, that just makes you stronger, makes you have to, pushes you further and further.
Well, not only that, but they're always going to remember their mentor, whether they like you or not. They're always going to have that in the back of their head that they got it from you. And if they're going to go work somewhere else, they're always going to know that you're there competing as well. So they're going to respect that.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully. I don't even know. Well, I guess what I'm saying, Mark, is not hopefully or not, it's irrelevant because they're not going to, whether they admit it to themselves or not, is not what I'm talking about. Sure. Hopefully they admit it to themselves, but it's always going to be there, whether they admit it or not. It's always going to be haunting them at some point in time that you are the reason they are where they are, whether they like you, don't like you. But most of them are going to respect it, man. Like you said, they're going to respect it, and they're going to. It's great for the area. You know, it builds up the competition. Period. Right. Mm-hmm. So level 1 tips. You're watching. Give us like 3 good things. What do you think for level 1? What are your 3 best things?
This may sound silly, but there's a simple book called Wine for Dummies. Wine for Dummies. It's easy. It's short. You can read the chapters. The chapters are 2 or 3 pages. They're not that too critically in depth. They're just kind of gentle brush over and get a little comfort there. So that's a great book to look over. Getting into groups of people who are like-minded, who really want to do the same thing, that will accelerate you the fastest. Have people you're going to share your information, your knowledge at level 1, 2, 3, and 4. At level 4, there are study groups that get together for years at a time, and they push each other. And like you study Italy for a month and you share your information with me. I'll study Spain. Christian, you study France. And we get together and share information. So study groups, people who are like-minded, who have the same direction to go, want to go, very, very important. And I think, you look at what wine can do in this industry as a server. We're all here to make money. We all want to be successful. We want to have a happy life. You want to give yourself a raise in the restaurant business as a waiter or a bartender? Learn about wine. You can double your income by learning about wine. I've got a good buddy of mine in Las Vegas. On New Year's Eve, a couple years ago, he had an 8 people, $443,000 tab. How much of that was food? Only $10,000. The rest was wine.
That was it Thomas Jefferson and crew? Thomas Jefferson and boys?
So, I mean, that's pretty incredible what you can do for a wine tab. We had, so, I mean, wine balances against the food. It helps accelerate the two together. And if you want to learn about spirits, wine, it only helps your tab. It helps everyone's tab. Bottom line of the restaurant. I had a $125,000 night at our small little 60-seat restaurant with 20 people. How do you get there without wine? Can't.
You have to. Yeah.
So wine's, it definitely can be a friend.
It is a friend, and it's not only a friend to us as business owners, but as a friend to those who's drinking it, because you get really friendly the more you drink of it. and people who can spend the money on it at that level are getting a lot more friendly spending the money. It is what it is, yes. Right? The wine was never designed. Well, that's not right. Let me back the fuck up on what I'm saying. Wine may have been designed to cheap drink back in the day, yes. However, the growth of it, the systems, the rating systems, the bottling, that wasn't designed to necessarily be cheap. Wine was designed out of necessity. So, yes, it was cheap. There's a grape. Let's turn it into alcohol. Let's get fucked up. And then refining that motherfucker so you can actually make it palatable, right? Yeah. And make it sellable and make it a thing, in an iconic thing around the world of following. Yeah. It is not cheap. No. Wine is not a cheap hobby.
No, it's not.
It's not.
It can be inexpensive, but it can definitely be expensive. And, I don't want to sound snobbish. At my restaurant, if I walk around and I see a bottle of wine at every table, I don't care if it's a $30 bottle. If I see a wine at every table, I know they know how to dine. They have food and wine together. They're having a great experience. It's going to be elevated, and they're going to enjoy. I don't care if it's a $30 bottle.
They know what to do, and exactly right. I don't give a shit. Look, it's always nice to see a fucking Dominus or Sesakaya go out and feel good about that. And that's just the main staple words. Those are the name brands that we know of at that level. Yeah. There's so many more that are, when you see them go out, you're like, oh, wow. You know what I mean? But if I see a bottle of wine like you, people are there to enjoy what you're offering. And it doesn't matter how much money is in their pocket. It's about the experience. Yeah. So if a $45 bottle on my menu, which I have for people like that, I want everyone to come in here. I'm going to choose, with my sommelier, the best $45 bottle we can get, so they can experience that, and I want them to enjoy. So to me, I don't really care what's on the table as far as it. Of course, we look at the people who spend huge and buy $600,000 bottles. Everyone looks at that and be like, okay, cool, but that's far and few between in comparison to the people who are actually out there just celebrating an anniversary on a budget, and they want to enjoy themselves. That's what I really love to see. So you and I have a lot in common. When I go look at your cellar, mine is pretty big and unique in there. I'll show it to you when we turn the light on, but it's nothing in comparison to what you have with your level of collection. You have a level of collection to you. You have a lot of progressive vintages. You have a lot of progression going on. You have a lot of things that
We
go.
have 1,600 selections of wine. That's a lot for a small restaurant.
That's a lot for a big restaurant.
Yeah, 1,600 selections. Wines that are $30 to $30,000 a bottle, and I'm currently sold out of my $25,000 and $30,000 bottles right now. Trying to get some more back in, but they're very hard to come by.
Sure.
And so we have wines that are as young as 2024 and as old as 1834. I'd proudly say I have wines at $10 a glass up to $450 a glass. I mean, you have to have something for everybody. And so, at one point in time, pre-COVID, we did a thing called the Funky Fives, Functions of Five. We had 10 bottles of white and 10 bottles of red that you could enjoy between $5 to $5.55, the early bird type of thing,
Sure.
for $10 a bottle. People are like, you have a $10 bottle of wine on your list? I'm like, I do. I'm like, is it any good? I'm like, I wouldn't have it in the restaurant if I wouldn't drink it myself.
That's right.
So, I mean, wine doesn't have to be expensive. It certainly can be. But, to me, once again, wine is definitely my life. But when you put wine together with food, people are going to enjoy the food so much more.
Yeah, exactly. And people look at those numbers and they shake their head. But however you spend your money and whatever drives you is your business. And I think wine does that to people. And some people have a very high calling for it. Yes, it is. There's also a level of prestige to it. What word am I looking for? Not prestige, but that type of society. When
I mean, it's it denotes that you've gotten to a level in your life you can enjoy those sort of things. But we do it with everything. We do it with clothes. We do it with cars.
Sure.
We do it with everything.
Handbags. I mean, $300,000
purses.
handbags blows my mind.
Yeah, I mean, Birkins are
Shoes.
30, 50 grand. So if you're gonna, you can spend your money how you want to spend it, but it does kind of have that astuteness into it, or but you don't have to have that to enjoy it.
So 100-point bottle of wine is not going to be cheap, but some of them are affordable to some. What does this bottle go for that we're talking
It's
about?
just under $1,000.
That's it. So we're drinking a bottle of wine that's under $1,000. Well,
It's a
$100
bargain.
is under $1,000. So how close to $1,000?
We sell this for $800 on our list.
Okay.
And you're sharing it with us, which is amazing. You're sharing it with them because they're seeing it, and I would do nothing less. I would definitely do that with you as well, and I appreciate it. But these are we wouldn't be sitting here talking to one of the best guys. When I started out saying that Zoe's has some of the best wines around, you heard his conversation. It probably is I can't think of another place that has a better list.
No, it is. I can say that. And I mean, we had, the cellars for, Bird and Baldwin. We had the private cellars, so we got to see some cool wines come through on that.
Ahead of you guys.
Like I said, I'm a product of being adjacent to it, not as fully involved in the somm side of it, but I got to experience great wines.
Well, you drink great wine.
I am
drinking.
I'm very particular on what I drink, even my daughter, who is 17 years old, is particular on wines already because of that fact, because it's more in your environment. If you're used to it, people around you enjoy it, you learn. But don't be ashamed of starting out and asking questions. Like, I'm sure you get that all the time.
That is something that is so true, Chris. You have to not be afraid about wine. Wine can be so intimidating. So when I say you have to be humble, so I'm not sure if I could say the date today, but if I looked 1 year ago today and I looked at myself in a mirror and I looked at Marc Sauter going, oh, last year you thought you knew a whole lot about wine. Last year I looked at myself, I didn't know anything last year. Nothing about wine. There's always so much more to learn. So never be scared, never be ashamed, be humble, be excited. Be excited to learn about wine. And we try to get people to go outside the box and say, okay, you drink the same wine over and over again. Maybe try to drink, there's a thing called the Centennial Club, the 100 different grape varietals. If people come to the restaurant, no one wants to come to the restaurant and say, hey, here's a pen and paper, here's a test. Write down all the grape varietals you know. There's over 2,500 grape varietals on this earth, and over 1,368 are used for wine production. So a Chardonnay, a Cabernet Sauvignon, a Merlot, those are grape varietals. Write down all the ones you know that you've had before. People write down 15, 20, 25. Try to get to 100 in your lifetime with yourself, with your friends, with spouses,
great.
and just try to go outside the box and learn. There's more. There's so much out there. It's like if you eat the same food, if you had chicken parm every day of your life.
That'd be amazing.
Well,
That'd be,
no, it could be
You'd be
amazing,
so
but
fucking
it would
happy.
be, it was just one.
I'm kidding.
item.
I know what
There's
you're saying.
So much more out there. Try all these different crazy, fun dishes that are out there, and experience. This wine can be so fun. It shouldn't be. It is scary, but it shouldn't be, and it shouldn't be daunting, and it is a little bit. But just take it real. It's a grape. It comes from the ground.
I think what
God's
people
bounty to us.
People I notice more than anything, if you have people get hit who are trying to learn about wine and want to go out and have a nice night and don't know about wine, they get hit with sticker shock bad. They don't understand what it is, and they just get intimidated instantly, and they go right for the one that says $35. That's not a problem. But when I go, here's a tip for all you people who go out there. Find your budget. Don't be intimidated by the sommelier. That's why they're there. They
Their
design
job,
a wine
yeah.
list. They create a wine list, and they put their wines in there, and they're proud of every one of them. There's a reason why they put a $35 one. One of the reasons is to make sure you get an option. Number two is they want to show off what they've chosen to be the best $35 bottle of wine. It's all good. You're not going to offend or look stupid by anybody, because by design, these sommeliers put together their wine list in a proud way to make sure you do it.
Are you trying to give away secrets here, Tony?
No. Check it out.
There's a secret to it.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not going to give it away. So this is my trick. This is my trick. I look at what I want to spend on wine that night. Sometimes I'm in a great spot. I want to spend $500. Some days I'm with people who deserve $500. Sometimes I just want to have a nice little wine and a $75 bottle, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I'll go in and I'll say, can I speak to the somm or whatever? And they'll come to the table. And I will say, I'm going to experiment tonight. I like this, and this. I have a $300 budget. Blow me up. Let me know what you got. Give me something different along those lines. I like Nebbiolo. I like Gattinara. I like Sagrantino. I like all that stuff, and that's what I'm feeling tonight. But I'm going to allow you to bring me something. Here's $300 budget. Bring me what you got. If you say the same thing with a $50 budget or a $100 budget, you're going to enthuse the sommelier, because now you're letting them be them. Now you're letting them create, and they created the menu. So don't feel bad if you want to spend that money, and don't feel bad if you want to spend $1,000. You're going to get what the fuck you get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the secrets is, this was something from the older days, but still holds true, is the sommelier is going to have the second to least expensive wine per category is one of their favorites. So if it's a $35 bottle, at that $40 bottle, it may be his favorite wine. So, I mean, don't go to the very, very bottom. Just go one notch up, and you're going to get a great bottle of wine. And when you go to a sommelier or a wine steward or a wine director, if you have confidence in them and they feel that they have some confidence to talk to you as well, give them parameters or a budget. So I go to a table and say, hey, we're having an anniversary, it's our birthday. Give me a great bottle of wine. What's a great bottle of wine to you? What's a great bottle to me? It can be different. I'm not Bill Gates. I can't afford a $1,000 bottle every day. So I'm not going to ever spend that kind of money on a bottle of wine. But what is your parameters to say, hey, listen, give me a bottle of wine, keep it around $70 a bottle. When I go to the table, I bring 3 or 4 bottles once they give me a budget of $70. I don't bring one bottle at $70. I bring a $40, $50, $60 bottle, put them on the table, because I'm not going to gouge somebody. I'm going to get the respect.
Sure.
And I'm going to come back.
That's smart.
And I'm going to show them these wines. I'll tell a little story about all 3 or 4 of them and let them choose.
And with that being said,
I love that.
if I give you a $70 budget,
Yeah, I need that
I
information. It's
love
important.
that. Yeah.
sure, if you bring me a $70 bottle, if I tell you I got a $70 budget, and you bring me a $40 bottle I like, there's more opportunity that I'm going to buy 2 of them now.
Yeah,
Because it's
that's
only
true. Or you're
$10
gonna take one
more than
home.
70, and I
Yeah.
just got 2. So your sales and your percentages that you made your wine list based on are all the same.
Yeah.
You know, it
Yeah.
works out great.
If they're going to trust me, I got to trust them, and I got to be able to give and deliver to them what they're looking for. And so I'm not going to hit them over the head. I think that's terrible to do that. You've got to be able to win these customers. You want them coming back and back and back. If you won and done a customer, you'll never see them again.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
we want these people
Yeah.
coming back over and over, busting the doors down, and filling up the seats.
And confidence comes with that. If they're confident in you, like you just said, if they trust you and believe in you, they're going to be more apt one day to come in there and try out, okay, let's try and do a $100 bottle of wine. Most people think that's a lot of money, and it is, right? $100 a
respect
bottle
that,
for
yeah.
wine, when they don't really understand it, to them, that's their going out. That's $100.
Well, I think they're almost thinking they're
$100.
taking a risk because they don't know if they like it or not.
Right.
So they're just like
They
kind
have
of
to trust
betting
you.
their money that
Sure.
you're gonna give them a good wine, and they're used to going to the store and seeing it for getting a $20 $19
And
bottle.
I always try to talk to the guests and get a little understanding or insight to their own personal palate, because when you say you like Nebbiolo, like Sangiovese, or some varietals you like, that's good information. Any word that comes out of your mouth, I'm trying to ascertain as much information as I can in a very short period of time of what are you looking for, what kind of experience do you have, what do you want to have. And, I don't want to bring you a Napa Valley Cabernet if you want a Brunello.
Right.
I'm not going to bring you, I want to bring you what you like. And if your comfort zone is, ABC, I don't want to give you a Z. Might
Right.
push a D on you, but I want to be in a range that's going to be exciting for you, and I want you coming back and being thrilled. I don't want you walking away and say that was an okay meal. I always want to. It's always our philosophy, my philosophy that I train my staff is we don't want to meet people's expectations. We want to exceed them
Sure.
every single
Every time. Every
time.
time. And no matter how many times you try and say that, you can't say it enough because it's in your
true.
heart. And what I say is that I have one thing I tell my staff, and especially my wine people, is this: don't sell them the bottle of wine today or the table or experience today. Sell them the next one.
Absolutely.
Use today to sell them the next one. if you can nail today nicely and make them confident with you, they're going to come back, and then they're going to do more and more and more. And that's what our job is. Our job is to make them come see the sequel, okay? Anybody who makes a movie, you can watch that movie one time, but you want to come up with a sequel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you got to be able to sell the sequel. And the sequel is they come back for another reservation, you know? And that's how I look at it, and that's how I tell my staff, man. We can sell them now. Do the best you can
Build the
so
future.
they come back.
Oh, yeah. I mean, your staff they're actors and they're salesmen.
Yeah.
So it's, did you love this? Oh, my gosh, this is my other favorite thing. I can't wait till you come back and try it.
Yeah, so it's always when you have an anniversary, a birthday, or deployment, you're coming back from deployment, we appreciate that support from the military. We have cards on the table with your name on it, and every single person in the restaurant signs that card, and it's on the table. And so the other day, I was talking to the table, and they're on a little stand, so they're clipped on a little stand about 12 inches off the table.
Like that behind you?
Yeah, exactly like that. Love those little touches.
Sure.
So I get this table. I said, by the way, if you open the card up, if you didn't realize, open the envelope, the card up. Everybody on the staff is thankful you came for your special occasion, and we signed it. And the table turned to me and goes, "We have a stack of those at home." I said, "Stack of what?"
Oh, my
It's a
gosh.
stack of Zoe's cards. We come in for every birthday and every anniversary. We have a stack of them.
That's
I'm
amazing.
like, what kind of feedback is that? They enjoy coming back.
They
back, back?
appreciate it.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's amazing.
That's
We have customers we know now on first name basis, and they come in here royally and realistically. Lost another word. Loyally, and they just keep repetitively. They come back
There we go.
repetitively. So
Okay.
that happens, and it's a great feeling knowing that
Yeah.
that this what I'm trying to put out there is that.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what I want. That's exactly what I want my food to do.
Yeah.
You know, right now we're talking about wine, but as a chef, the wine works around my food. I get inspired.
Yeah.
I'll drink some wine. My
You'll
son will
go
bring in
make
some wine
something.
to me. We'll talk. We'll sit with the reps and
Yeah.
stuff. I will drink the wine, and the first thing I'm thinking about, yeah, that's good wine. But I'm thinking about what I'm going to cook
Yeah.
with it.
To pair
You see what I'm
with
saying? So it inspires me to cook. So good wine inspires me to cook. Usually some people will eat good food, and you have to pair the wine to it. Whenever we have a wine dinner here, I sit down with the reps, and I go through all the wine.
Yes.
I sit with the reps, I sit with the som, and I drink all the wine. And that's when I create my menu. I don't create the menu first and make them pair it.
Yeah.
I drink their wine first, and then I pair to that.
That is so brilliant, Tony. That so many people, so many chefs, I say people, chefs, they want to be the star. They want to make this great dish. They want it to this is what I've created. The thing that the chef has to know and understand, and you do, the wine can't change. It's already made.
Right.
It cannot change at all.
Let it inspire you.
You can
If you're-
change the food.
Correct.
You can add more acid. You can add more fat. You can subtract a little
Sure.
salt. You can do those things, but the wine cannot change. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And so to make that balance, that's beautiful. Very few chefs, I feel, completely grasp that.
Like
And
this
you
right
have to be
here?
humble.
Right here, what I'm thinking on this would be a finisher. This would be a last course. And this would be a grill, but not a full grill. This would be a touch off. This would be something lightly done in the sous vide, and then it would be touched on the grill just to make that happen. If you go too much grill, you're going to lose this. But if you work just enough grill, this right here,
Smoke and the
Yeah,
fire.
Too much smoke, too heavy would overpower
It
them.
would overpower this. So, but you need a little bit of something to break. You know what I mean? So pull the fat out of it in the sous vide, whether it be lamb, something like that, a nice tenderloin of lamb or something. That's where I'm going with this. And then I would literally sous vide that out with very light seasoning, herbs, and then I would just touch it on the grill at the end on service.
Yeah.
Just enough to bring. There's not enough left to caramelize or get that crust or get that really char, because you don't want too much of the char, but you want a little bit of flame to touch this, and this would be fucking amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally agree with that.
Now he's going to have to cook that for us. So you know that.
I'm ready. I'm
But I mean,
scared.
the reason we started the show, and that's why I love having people like you on who know the nuances and the elegance, and we call it the sexy side to this business. We do it to create relationships, and you're in it because the people you actually are serving, you care about, and they become your family.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of close relationships that I had with my customers that I have literally carried through being at their houses at holidays and Christmas, watching their kids being born, them helping with my business, becoming people who supported through that is absolutely incredible. So, I mean, I'm glad you guys are still holding that level in this area, because it deserves it. This area deserves a lot more than what we get credit for.
We're in the making people happy business, and we create experiences. And I have a friend of mine who's a brain surgeon. He's so enamored with what I do, and I'm like, let's dial it back a little bit. You're saving people's lives. I'm just trying to put a happy smile on your face. I want you to experience. Well, those happy experiences is what we live for, and those are the things that carry us on, and that's what brings people back. I mean, to have that experience that they just want to tell all their friends about. I mean, hey, I went to Luce last night, and I had this incredible meal, and the service, everything flowed perfectly, and I'm like, I can't wait to go back. I mean, that's what we work hard for our money for. We get
Sure.
those experiences.
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely. So, couple last things. The most sought after level to me, you would know much better, but to me, the most sought after level of the Court of Masters is level 2. That's the one people go for, and kind of most people end up stopping and being comfortable with.
Yeah.
That's the certification. What are your tips? Give us 3 tips of that. You got the blind tasting, you got the theory, and you got the service.
Yeah.
So what are your few tips on that?
So actually, level 2, which is called certification, where you actually become a certified sommelier, I am very instrumental to making that level happen. I was with the founder of the Court of Master Sommelier, Brian Julian, at the Sommelier Summit many years ago out in Napa Valley, and there was level 1 intro, and then there was advanced, and there's master diploma, and there was no level 2. And advanced is level 2 is get off the crazy train. To go to level 3, you've got to be crazy. You've got to dedicate your life. It's absolutely insane. So level 1, level 2, and then level 3 is like way up there. So I helped develop level 2 by inspiration, saying there has to be something between level 1 and advanced, which is certification. And so it's very, very important. So you can call yourself a sommelier once you're a certified sommelier. Once you have that level, no one can dispute that. And so for level 2, you have to learn blind tasting, service, and theory. Theory is something you can put. I can't teach someone to put your nose in a book and learn and study everything about the world of wine. Service is something that has to be trained by a mentor to show you how to be done in a fine dining restaurant, a Michelin 3-star, a 5-diamond American restaurant. That is something service-wise that they teach you at. And then the blind tasting, you have to be able to expose yourself to the varietals. At level 2, you're only responsible for around 24 to 28 different grape varietals, Old World and New World. So Sangiovese in the Old World, Sangiovese in the New World. So you don't have but about 40, 50 wines that you have to learn inside out in blind tasting. At level 3, 1,368, whole different ballgame. But so getting comfortable with core varietals, getting comfortable with fine dining service, and those things you need to either study or have a mentor to help you guide you. And that's very important. So in this program, there's no school to go to. It's self-guided. No one's said, here's a syllabus, go do it. You have to sit there and learn. You have to be excited about what that can bring to your table. But level 2 is a great place to be.
So if you're going to go to level 2, basically, to sum it all up, you have tasting, blind tasting. You have to go through that. That's probably for most people, that would be the hardest. The service part of it is really based off of experience. If you have experience, you can get that.
Yeah,
if you
service
get the right
is very
teacher.
easy.
Service is easy. You should have the service. If you're going for level 2, you should already have service figured out.
But they want a certain thing for service. So I can't tell you to, for service, you're not going to learn it automatically unless you have someone to show you or direct you. But once you have me directed, you'll never forget it. So if you walk in a restaurant and I say to you, Tony, touch every third table with your right hand, and when you leave, touch every third table with your left hand, then wave goodbye to me. Anybody can do that. It's a learned process. What do they want in fine dining? And so when you approach the table, the bottle never touches the glass. When you pour it, you present the cork to the guest. It goes on a coaster. You ask the guest, when you leave the table, would you like to keep the cork, or shall I, for a special memento, or shall I take it with me? Use simple little things. That's easy. So once you learn service, anybody can do it.
And that's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm trying to pull out of you, is that right there. Those little tips of what people can look forward to. What can they expect out of these exams? What can they expect out of this test?
Today's knowledge, today's availability with technology, YouTube. You can YouTube that information. And so in the old day, you couldn't do any of that without someone showing you physically. Now you can YouTube. Certification, sommelier, Court of Master Sommelier, level 2, service exam.
So give us a little tip real quick on the theory part of it, because that's the one that a lot of people don't understand exactly what's going to be on there.
So theory is level 1, pushing it up even higher. So they want you to know the core things. So one of the test questions, and I've helped administer the test many times for level 2. I don't grade it, but I help administer the test at the restaurant. And so they might do very simply, they may name 8 wines, and you just have to connect it to a region. So they'll do Côte d'Estrade. Well, if you're in the industry, you should know that's a super second growth Bordeaux, and it's from Bordeaux, France. Then they put Chateau Beaucastel. Well, because you see Chateau, you might think that it's from Bordeaux, but it's from the Rhone Valley. Then they put Sassicaia. Well, if you're in the industry and you're a level 2 somm, if you don't know where Sassicaia comes from, you shouldn't be in this business. It's one of the greatest super Tuscans ever made, if not the greatest. So it's the best of the best. You shouldn't be a sommelier if you don't know the best of the best. If someone says, that's a Rolls Royce out there, have you ever heard that before? No. Is it a car? What is it? I've never heard of a Rolls Royce. Yes, the Rolls Royce is a decent car. It's a luxury car. So you have to know the best of the best. That's across the board. So to be able to be at a table and someone says to me, I brought a bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild in 1990. Is that a good vintage? Yeah, Chateau Lafite Rothschild is a first growth. 1990 is one of the greatest vintages ever. Yes, that's a good bottle of wine.
If someone were to say that in here, which some similarities have, that's the type of thing you kind of stop and take your breath and go, what did you just say is here? You know, it's one of them things that you should know that stuff.
You should know stuff, yeah. And so that's what a certified sommelier should be able to walk to a table and someone say, now, I can't tell you I know every winery in the world. I don't. I taste 50 different thousand wines a year, 137 different wines a day, and I don't know it all. I'm never going to know it all. But if you say to me, hey, I had a bottle of Memento Mori, or I had a bottle of Harlan Estate, just Screaming Eagle, my friend brought me a bottle of Dominus over. Oh, yeah, I know Dominus. Christian Menus wines. Yeah, Philippe Melko was the original winemaker. Started off in 1982. You should know some of those things at a higher level, but this is never heard of.
You should also know that if they can't afford the Dominus and they've heard about Dominus, you could bring them down to Napa Nook and everything else. So
Yeah,
it's still fucking
absolutely.
delicious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And those are the things that people should know at that level. Awesome. Listen, like I said, we can talk about this all damn day. This is one of them conversations that we're nerding out on big time. And
I love
we can just
listening
keep on
to
going.
it. Yeah.
But at some point in time, we do got to cut it short. And I think that's about
We do.
now, right?
I know.
Because if not, we're going to continue going.
We'll keep going. Yeah. So
But-
we try and set a time limit to keep ourselves in check.
Sure,
I
but let me
know.
tell you this. This definitely needs a sequel. We need to come
Yeah.
back to this and then definitely have you back on. So coming soon
is
here, we
amazing.
need to get back to this. And I also think that we need to go have some wine at Zoe's.
Well,
Anytime,
I told him,
please.
I'm overdue to be there, so
Yeah,
I will.
I'm
we
thinking
will
about
make
bringing a
point.
camera in there and doing
We'll bring
some
a
stuff with
camera
them.
in and we'll do a fun
We'll do
little.
some-
We'll do a fun little short in there, and I can harass your bar staff a little bit.
Sure,
too.
that would be fun too.
Yeah.
But you're talking bar. I know where you're looking.
I know.
Come on, go
you didn't
for
even
it.
crack that yet.
Crick
you
it,
didn't
kick
even crack
it,
it.
kick
so
it right
it'll
now.
just be our
Kristen,
closer.
Kristen, back to you.
Back to me. Well, I'll let Mark eat. So did you just kind of, what made you bring this today? Because we knew we were going to talk about wine. Why did you bring this?
Well, your show, you guys do a lot of tequila, and I appreciate that. I'm just not a huge tequila guy, and so if I'm not drinking wine, I drink a little bourbon. And if
Okay.
you're going to have bourbon, might as well have some Pappy.
Might
Correct.
as well. I mean, why not? If you're
So-
going to go all
So
the
where
way.
you at mostly in your heart? 10, 12, 20, 25? Where you at?
I am a 20 and a 15-year-old Pappy man myself.
Okay.
Really? Am I bad for saying I'm a 12?
No, 12's fantastic too. It's fantastic.
But that's like that seems like the introductory Pappy.
Well, 10 and 12s are, but they're all great. So I got to have a wonderful experience with Julian Van Winkle. I was with 21 Somms and Chefs, and we went to it was a TV show called Mind of a Chef, PBS show. Anthony Bourdain was season 1, Chef Eddie Lee was season 2.
Oh, wow.
So we went out and we toured Buffalo Trace with Julian Van Winkle. Then we had lunch with him, and that night we had dinner at Chef Eddie Lee's restaurant, and we did a wine dinner with Colgan Vineyards, and Julian Van Winkle sitting next to me, and his wife, Sissy, sitting across from me, and he's asking, why are they pairing the Syrah with this black pepper stuffed quail? I'm like, well, I'm explaining, well, Syrah has black pepper flavors, a little bit of bacon, saddle leather.
Sure.
And I'm like, wow, I'm teaching Julian Van Winkle about wine. It was crazy experience for me. And so I just always been a big fan of Pappy. And it's great.
I don't know if you could teach him about whiskey though or bourbon.
Yeah,
I wouldn't begin to try.
I know.
share it
Well,
with you.
this is
I will share with you like we're doing today.
a very special way to end this episode, so I truly
Awesome.
appreciate
Yes.
it. So we'll do that. And
Oh yeah.
that is very good.
A little Kentucky hug right there on the chest.
Kentucky
yeah,
hug.
a little bit of love at
Hug
the end of
life.
the episode. But so from
Oh,
wine,
that's good.
yeah, wine to whiskey.
So
No, it's very good.
100-point wine, Pappy, Life is beautiful. Van Winkle, rather.
Yeah.
It's fucking delicious, right? Well, you know.
I know you're just like savoring. They're all looking. We're like, hold on. They're like, can you wrap
whole
this so
crew's
we
like,
can taste that
come
shit?
on, y'all.
That's what's
What's
going
up?
on right now. But okay, so yeah, quick shout out for the restaurants where everybody can find you guys.
Yeah. So Zoe's Steak and Seafood Restaurant. We're on 19th Street in Virginia Beach, next to the Convention Center. A small restaurant. We take reservations up to 2 years in advance, and so not that you can't walk in there on a Saturday and get a table, but I would.
Good luck.
I would not recommend that.
I try it.
Yeah.
I got kicked. One time I got kicked
You
out.
got kicked
Man,
out.
I had to call you back. Tony, I got to get back here.
I was like, I just wanted a steak at the bar. I left work early for this, but I didn't want to cause no trouble. I'm not that guy. I'm cool. It was great. I went last time. We had a fucking phenomenal time.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
It was a good time.
That was a great time. I had. Oh, one last thing I want to hit before we go. We're getting ready
Okay.
to sign out. Everybody, listen. If you don't know what you want to buy and you're by yourself, you're sitting at a bar, half bottles. Will you please bring back the half bottle? Great half bottle program here.
Yes.
I'm working on my half bottle program too. Half bottles, about 2.5 glasses. It's all you need. Spend the money on yourself. Don't be afraid of buying the whole bottle. Half bottles. He's got them. I got them.
Love the half
Keep
bottles.
on going.
Yeah.
Half bottles.
Push those half bottles.
I love it. I'm a
I
half
do
bottle
love a half
freak.
bottle,
When a
'cause
winery makes half bottles, I fucking love it, man. They get
Although
it.
I do consider one bottle one serving at this point
True.
in my life.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Depends on
half
who
bottles
you're
are
with.
like an appetizer. So
Right,
okay.
right. All right, well, that's
appreciate
it. We're
you,
going to end
Mark.
it on that because we're going to
Thank
keep going.
you so much, Doc.
Ciao for now.
All right.
Ciao for now.
Ciao.